South Carolina is not alone to secede. And indeed, 5 days after Sinai left KAM, the Confederate Army attacked Fort Sumter. I'm not saying that Sinai's secession caused the Civil War, but I'm not saying the opposite either. Many of us feel pride in Sinai's history of charting its own path, and I am chief among them. It's why I chose Sinai 25 years ago. We talk about this path at Sinai as if it was gospel. Sunday services, fewer ritual, more English vernacular, and organ. So much for that. But I want to talk tonight about the charting, not the path itself, the why. Many of the pioneers who were the first Jews in Chicago came from a particular village in Hesse. They were isolated by laws there. They were not free to join guilds, to own land, etc. They were segregated. When they came to Chicago, it was the Wild West. There were no rules, which was great for them. It thrust these Jews of Chicago into a secular world, and it posed new questions. How do we retain our Judaism in a secular world? When and where and how should we pray? How do we dress? Who do we marry? Etc. Some say that there has always been one Sinai way to answer these questions, and I happen not to agree. I believe that throughout its 164-year history, Sinai has taken different positions of what it means to be a Jew and to practice as a Jew in this secular world. Now, to be sure, it is true that Sinai did go so far, and this is true, as to donate its Torahs to the University of Chicago for a period of time. But it took them back. And it's not just that. When Sinai was formed, it embraced the Jewish diaspora, rejecting Zionism. But when the world changed, and it was more difficult to be Jewish in this world, Sinai changed with it. Sinai's august rabbi, Dr. Hirsch, ended up being, as one writer put it, an influential harbinger of American Zionism in its formative phase. And that phase, to be clear, was not the Nazis. It was years before that, when, in reaction to Russian pogroms at the turn of the century, there was a rise in Zionism. The point is this: Sinai's radicalism was its willingness to engage with the question of how to be Jewish in this secular world. And that, I submit, is the legacy of those on whose shoulders we stand today. So that takes us to where Sinai is at. And a spoiler alert, I think we're in a pretty gosh darn good place. And here's why. First, I believe we remain united on Sinai's core principle: the practice of Judaism that honors the balance that each one of us have chosen on how to be Jewish in this world. From those coming from no Jewish experience at all, to those who grew up here at Sinai, to those who find meaning in traditional and historic practice and ritual, and everywhere in between. A house of prayer for all people. Rabbi Hirsch said of Sinai in 1885, "We have a crazy quilt of beliefs and unbeliefs and are still held together by one common purpose." 140 years later, the individual patches may have changed, but the essence of the quilt has not. Second, we have chosen to invest in Sinai as our place to be Jewish in this secular world. We are investing by building community through prayers and services like this, yes, and classes and games and outings and lectures and other programmings that come in that very long email every week. But also by educating our children here and passing on our tradition to future generations, celebrating life's moments by supporting each other through its more difficult ones. And we are investing in our leadership. We have 3 outstanding clergy here at Sinai: Rabbi Green, Cantor Will, Rabbi Benoff, who we hired as a congregation after meaningfully and mindfully and deliberately deciding on them as our leaders, who bring passion and warmth to worship, relationships, and pastoral care. And third, our membership is growing, which is a testament to our attractiveness, to those speaking a Jewish spiritual home in Chicago, and to the dedication and hard work by our members, staff, and clergy for cultivating relationships with our prospective members. And to our new members, I say, and we all say, we are glad that you are here with us. So in a time when it is more difficult than in the recent past to be Jewish in this world, we are standing together and investing together in this Sinai community. So finally, where Sinai is headed. First, we are going to continue charting a path here at Sinai, our own path. We are going to be Jewish in our own ways as we balance our Jewish identities in this secular world. There has never been a more important time for that than now, because it says, like the infamous Horton, that we are here and we're not going anywhere. Second, we are going to continue to invest in a vibrant Sinai, in what we do here in this building at Sinai, in the people here, and in the community. And third, we are going to invest in a financially stable Sinai, one that we may have let lapse a little too long, but we can and we will ensure that a vibrant Sinai is financially stable for us and for our future generations. It is not too much to do for us to do this together. I want to conclude with one last quote by Hirsch. Uniformity and unity are, to my mind, two different things. As Sinai has charted its path on what it means to be a Jew in this world, it has never demanded uniformity. We make individual choices on how to practice and what to believe. But we are unified in honoring those individual choices and in supporting each other in community. Let's commit to doing just that together in the coming new year. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
We continue on page 27 as I invite you to rise for the Baruch Hu.